Dear me, that was good. Please welcome to the stage. Sorry, I forgot who it was. Yeah, I know this. Chris. I thought I would be following someone saying things. So, hi, I'm Chris. I'm tall and I'm ginger, and I'll answer the two questions that always come up with tall ginger people. Yes, it is colder up here, and yes, it's warmer up here because I'm ginger. They level themselves out a little bit. Some of you may know that I'm an accountant. You may think, what's an accountant doing up there with an interest in stand-up and improv comedy? Why did you choose to become an accountant? Well, I applied for a job and they gave it to me. You don't see that in many 8-year-olds' dream journals. Dear diary, one of these days I want to apply for a job and I'm going to stick with it for 5.5 years out of a mixture of gratitude and embarrassment. To make it worse, I was an auditor for 5.5 years. That's the accountant's accountant. That is concentrated accountancy. You need to add some water to that accountancy Ribena. It will ruin your teeth. And at the job interview they said, why do you want to be an auditor? Why do you want to use your transferable skills from your physical geography degree? Do you want to travel the world with your audit? Do you want to get a financial qualification that will see you through the rest of your life? And I couldn't tell them at the time the reason why I chose audit above everything else. But I can tell you now, there was a drop-down box. It said audit, tax and pensions, and I chose audit because it was the first one alphabetically. So there's a life lesson for you.
This is a segue, this is a segue, this is a segue,
So I recently changed my job and really gave me a chance to do some self-reflection.
That was a segue, an average segue, it wasn't a cheat, now on with a bit.
Yes, so I realised when I was doing my self-reflection that I can be quite spiteful. Not in like a damaging way, in like a minor way. Minor spite, I call it, like petty spite. And the way it manifests itself is if a friend really loves a film or a TV show and I haven't seen it, and they're like, oh, Chris, you'll love this film. It is so you. It's right up your street. Just, you'll love it. I will not watch that film. I will do everything I can to take down that film. And I still won't watch it. I haven't seen the first 2 Lord of the Rings films. I saw The Return of the King, and I fell asleep 4 times, but I didn't understand what was going on. And I don't think it ever actually ended. I could still be there right now in some kind of Inception-style shenanigan. But I didn't see the first 2. The first one came out when I was 9, and I was a 9-year-old. I had things to do. By the time I got to secondary school, everyone was completely obsessed with Lord of the Rings. And I remember in the playground at break time, people would be running around playing hobbits and orcs or climbing ents, I guess. And I would, that's a tree reference, so I get references. And I would pretend that I was like a man from the future and I would shoot them all with a gun, but apparently that's not canon. And when, you remember like, you guys had top trumps, you used to play top trumps? Yeah, okay. Okay. There was the 2 towers top trumps. Everyone in my class was obsessed with 2 towers top trumps. So I made my own Star Trek top trumps just to be petty. That was it. That was the reason. And I preferred The Next Generation to the original series at the time. I still do. And so I gave Captain Picard a 10 out of 10 for sexiness. I gave Captain Kirk a 9. Just because I was petty. It affected no one else but me, because no one else would play with them. And the thing is, if William Shatner's watching this, and he's addicted to the internet, so maybe he will do someday, I still stand by it. Patrick Stewart is the sexiest bald man since Shakespeare. Suck it, Bob Balaban! And yes, it affected no one else. It probably surprises none of you to learn that I was at the Drama Society at university, and when I was there, everyone was obsessed with Les Mis. Now, I've seen Les Mis, I'm sure most of you have. I don't think it's that great. I don't like it. I have no strong feelings towards it. I know it seems like a controversial opinion in the room, but in Drama Society, everyone loves it. Absolutely everyone thinks it's God's gift to musicals. So and this is genuinely true, I started up a radio show called Chris Riley's Musicality just to rail against it. I played no Les Mis. I played every other musical. People would text in and say, play Les Mis! And I would scoff. Cuh, I would go, I'm not playing Les Mis. It remains some of my finest work. So it's not just when my friends really like something that I will take up against it. If someone that I don't like really dislikes something, I will champion that cause. Nigel Farage, this is topical. Nigel Farage, remember before Brexit he had this poster campaign, like refugees go home, which is kind of missing the point. And that so incensed and enraged me that I've now got 9 of them living in my flat just to spite him. They're good people. Ahmed's a doctor. Nigel Farage, if he really liked something that I already like, I think I would have to start disliking it. If he said that black pudding was his favourite food, I'd probably become a vegan. If he said that snooker was his favourite sport, I would buy a black and white television so I could no longer enjoy it. If he said that Parks and Recreation was his favourite TV show, I would go out and buy the box set of Mrs. Brown's Boys, which is the exact opposite TV show. If Nigel Farage said that he was going to support Jeremy Corbyn and his vision of a democratic socialist future, I'd still vote Labour because I'm not, This is very topical Nigel Farage jokes. Nigel Farage is the answer to the question that no one was asking. What would happen if a tadpole was raised by the Hitler Youth and force-fed a diet of pork pies and pints of gravy? Anyway, that's Nigel Farage. I don't understand people that vote against their own self-interest, Young Tories, young Conservatives, to me are a paradoxical phenomenon. I can't imagine being 18 years old and thinking, I want to increase the cost of my own education, I want to make it more expensive for me to buy a house, and I want to stop school children from getting free lunches. That doesn't make sense to me. Where else is there for them to go? Young Tories are like a bad bruise. They start out blue and they end up purple.
It's a segue, you know it's a segue, better segue.
I would like to share with you some thoughts about sex music.
It's a segue, there's a connection, just change of direction, you should be ashamed.
Hands up here, who's had sex? Sorry, Tarek. Next time. And who's had sex when there's been cliched, sexy sex music in the background? You know the kind of thing I'm talking about. Let me set the scene. Perhaps you've had a nice meal. Perhaps there's an empty bottle of wine or 2 on the sideboard. The lights are low, the candles are lit. You call out another woman's name, but it's okay. You say, Alexa. Play Let's Get It On. Oh yeah, you know the kind of thing I'm talking about. This is why I've been single for years. Oh, yes. You might think this is very cliched, sexy sex music, and you'd be right. You might think, oh, this is sexy stripping music. You would also be right. Maybe this is the kind of sexy sex music they play over 90s comedies to signal sex is about to happen. You may say to yourself, no, I want something less obvious. I want something much more romantic. You look to the Lord and you say, Alexa, play the Reverend Al Green. Oh, this is the kind of stuff. Yes? With me? Oh, whatever I wanted to do. God, Al Green, you're kinky. Is it just me, or does Al Green, Reverend Al Green gets 90% less sexy when you stop referring to him as the Reverend Al Green, you start calling him Vicar? Those 2 pieces of cliched sexy sex music are wonderful. They have their place. They are in the Hall of Fame of cliched sexy sex music. However, they do not apply to an awful lot of modern day situations. Perhaps you're in a long-term relationship, you're trying to keep the spark alive. Maybe you both have high-pressure jobs. The only time you get to see each other is in the morning before you wake up, before you have to go to work. Maybe you've got kids. I dated someone who had a child once. I'm speaking from a tiny, tiny bit of experience. And maybe the only time that you have the opportunity to have your opportunity is at 6:15 in the morning. Maybe you've got your foot on the door trying to stop the incoming stampede while you're trying to stampede your in. No. Foot on the door! And you say, no, Alexa, we don't need Al Green. We haven't got time for Marvin Gaye. We need something that's less than 3 minutes and that really represents the tension of this situation. Alexa, give us what you got! Anyway, that's me, I'm Chris. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please bring it up for Christopher.